So I just scrolled one last time, and there's this man named Wes with 2 S's, and that's important because I was convinced that this wasn't a real account. But this man named Wes with 2 S's had a tweet out there that said Arkansas is close to finalizing on a deal with John Calipari to be its next head coach. I would expect this to happen. And the man's name is Wes Moore, and here's the tweet. And I'm like, surely this isn't real. And I click on Wes Moore and I see, oh no, this man is very real. Shout out local news, shout out local sports departments. He's the sports director at a station in Little Rock, Arkansas. And so he seems legit. And now my interest is piqued. And next thing I know, within 20 minutes, my entire timeline is just John Calipari is headed to Arkansas, and Shams Charania is tweeting that it seems like John Calipari is heading to Arkansas, and Matt Norlander over at CBS is pointing out all of the big chicken money behind this because apparently Tyson Foods and their heir is friends with John Calipari, and there's a relationship there, and they have just thrown all the money in the world to bring John Calipari, who we just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, sat down with the Kentucky athletic director and said, we're gonna move on from the loss to Oakland. We're gonna move forward in our quest of winning a championship together. And now John Calipari is like, beep, beep, see ya. Going to Fayetteville. What?
The thing that makes sense to me. The thing
technically.
Do you want to be at Kentucky when your seat is hot and you got to win a championship?
No.
Right.
And the fans have turned on you?
Yeah,
No.
We've seen more coaches do this where they got good jobs, but the seat is warming up or they're outright on the hot seat and they just bolt for another job. It's like, okay, fine, I'm out by Jimbo Fisher in football immediately comes to mind. Seat was warming up at Florida State. There was some frustration, some headbutting going on there between Jimbo and the brass, but the seat was warming up a bit at Florida State. And Jimbo said, all right, I'm out. I'm done recruiting. I'm going to take this Texas A&M job. And just boom, leaves. The thing that surprised me, why am I blanking on Arkansas's former coach, the one who's at USC?
Eric Musselman.
Like that's the one that surprises me. Why would you leave Arkansas for USC? Arkansas is, by tradition and here recently, the much better program, significantly better program.
And they have the
USC.
money behind them, which is perfectly
So
clear.
why does he make that leap from Arkansas, which is also in the SEC, to USC, which is in the Big Ten, right? So you're already in one of the power. You're already in one of the 2 power conferences remaining. Yeah. I didn't understand that move.
But do you want to live in Los Angeles versus Fayetteville? And that's a personal decision, one that Eric Musselman made.
Can you win in Los Angeles? Because nobody else can.
To find out.
Nobody else could.
We got Enfield took him to 1 Elite 8.
Very seldom has the USC basketball program been. Was it only? I thought it was an Elite 8. Very seldom. My point is, very seldom has the USC basketball program achieved what Arkansas has achieved. Right? Sweet 16s, Elite 8.
They did make it to the Elite 8.
Arkansas has a national championship as well in the 90s, which is damn near 40 years ago, but which is insane to say.
USC's last Final Four was 1954.
Come on, man. Like that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But on the Cal side, listen, my seat is warm. Y'all want me up out of here. Y'all are turning on me. Let me look around and find something else. Oh, right. Arkansas's open? I can win at Arkansas. You telling me I got Tyson behind me? You telling me I got Walmart money behind me? Yeah, I can do some things at Arkansas, and they're not as entitled as Kentucky fans are at this point in time. So they'll be fine with a couple of Sweet 16s. They'll be fine with finishing in the top 3 or the top 4 of the SEC. They'll be fine when I send 3, 4, 5 dudes in one draft class to the NBA, and those 3, 4, 5 dudes become all NBA type players, all stars, that sort of thing. They'll be fine with that. It resets his coaching clock. It takes him firmly off of the hot seat. He's getting money. He's staying in the conference. He doesn't have to relearn anybody. He's not like he's got to re-scout everybody in the SEC. He's already knows who he's going to play. It's a good move for Cal.
They're estimating that the NIL package at Arkansas will be upwards of $5 million, and you throw that on top of what they will pay.
Let's go. If you got a good player on your team right now, go to his dorm room, take his phone, and take all of his communication devices. Don't let him talk to anybody, not even his mama. Cal is coming.
Put a chair up against the door and say, do your homework. Study. This is study season. Finals have to be near. I don't know. That's how it used to work. But it is one of those reminders, too, where if you're still out there chirping about, I hate what the transfer portal and NIL is doing to college sports. You just had a coach do the exact same thing. This has been the problem forever. And now players can do the same thing. So if you're not mad at John Calipari for taking more money and a better financial situation to transfer essentially from Kentucky to Arkansas, the same thing goes for players. So Yahtzee, everything is open. And who would have thought that when it's honestly the biggest of domino moves from SMU getting to the ACC, because if SMU hadn't gotten to the ACC, then maybe SMU doesn't fire their coach, Lanier, because they thought that they needed a better coach going into the ACC, and then SMU takes Andy Enfield from USC, which things were moving to a point where he was no longer the viable long-term solution there.
Another coach leaving a bad situation for him. Hot seat.
Bumps on over to SMU, and then USC takes Eric Musselman, and now Arkansas takes John Calipari, and now we will see who Kentucky takes.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m.